Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. It's Dietzel here, live from the Canadian Lake Home. We aren't doing it from the beach at the Canadian Lake Home, and I also have a special guest here today. I'm going to be talking to Fiona, who's my wife, here just for a couple of moments. Fiona doesn't normally do this, and I just got her on her way out here. But before we do that, let's take a look at what's going on at the beach at the Canadian Lake Home. Those of you that have the Inner Circle VIP app, you know that we do our beach time Google Hangouts live from the beach all the time, and that's what's going on here at the Canadian Lake Home. It's a blustery day, and so we turned the volume off down at the beach because it would literally take over me. And so you're on here to learn today, and most importantly, you're here to get an opportunity to win a free ticket to come in right here to the Canadian Lake Home. Entrepreneurs love it. They come in from all over the world, business owners, experts, coaches, consultants, trainers, speakers, leaders in their industries, or those that want to be the leader, flying all over the world. And many Americans refer to the beach here. Let's go back here for a second. But they refer to this, you can see kind of the blueness here, but when it's not so rough, it's just a beautiful turquoise color. And many Americans refer to it as Bahamas of the North. So anyways, before Fiona heads out, I thought I would bring her in here because many of you that are coming in already, you get a chance to meet my wife and my boys. And so I got just a few quick questions for Fiona. And thank you, dear, for being here today. Fiona's just going to be here just for a couple of moments. But first of all, Fiona, what would you say is, or what were your thoughts when we started bringing entrepreneurs into the Canadian Lake Home, which is our private residence? What were your thoughts about that?
My initial thoughts? Well, when Glenn first gave me this idea to do this, I was not particularly happy. I'm a pretty private person, as anybody who knows me knows, but I have to say it's been great. I have absolutely thoroughly enjoyed meeting everybody who's flown in. My kids have loved it, and especially my oldest Callum, our oldest Callum, who's now heading off and doing business at university. So he's been truly inspired by not only his dad, but by everybody that he's met.
What would Fiona, just kind of curious because you're behind the scenes and you kind of see kind of what's going on, et cetera. But what would you say is your biggest aha moment of just having just so many amazing people that come here? Biggest aha moment.
Oh my, put me on the spot, why don't you? My biggest aha moment would be the diversity of the people that you attract. That to me has just been incredible, to meet so many different people from so many different walks of life, different businesses. And I'm from the medical profession, so I thoroughly enjoyed meeting people from all sorts of business owners to entrepreneurs to you name it.
What do you see as they walk into the Canadian Lake Home, and what are the first words that most people say when they walk in the front doors?
That there's no snow.
Okay.
Besides the year, there's no snow.
Besides no snow.
They love it. They love the atmosphere. They love the location. I haven't heard too many negatives.
All right. Speaking of that, this is the location here, the Canadian Lake Home. Americans come in very easily. You can see the coastline way over there. That's the U.S. It's super easy to get here, and people internationally that come in they fly into Pearson International Airport. We're about 2 hours and 20 minutes. And from Detroit Metro, we're about 75-minute drive to get in here to the Canadian Lake Home. One last question for you. What would you say has been the biggest aha moment for our boys by having entrepreneurs come here, and business owners and people that are in startup mode, but that are really serious about acceleration, understand that they aren't going to get this anywhere online and need a full day to be immersed in the systems that have taken me over 12 years, over 12,000 hours to create. But because, we want our boys to learn. It's one of the reasons why we're a close-knit family. We want our boys to experience what true entrepreneurship is. What would you say our boys have gained the most out of this?
For Cameron, I'm not sure, because he is he's our math kid, and he's very much into math and physics and not particularly business minded at this moment in time. However, Callum, I think the thing that he's learned the most is, one, how hard business is from speaking with the people who have come here, but also how rewarding it is. hence the reason he wants to get into business himself.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, but I've heard numerous conversations with both of our sons, and at some different level, but everybody does seem to share very similar experiences that business isn't the same as what it once was. It's a lot more difficult. People share with my kids the cost of experimentation. And for many of my clients and those that come in, it's been into the millions of dollars. And I just got off a phone with somebody today, and he's already invested a lot of money. And really where he's at is where I was in education, the armpit of education. And people that come in here want to bypass the armpit in business, because that's where all the competition is, and that's where it's really hard to stand apart. And I see so many people throwing good money after bad advice, and inside of a business model that ends up holding them hostage. So Fiona, for the 3 people that we're going to select today, and I'm going to let you know how you can win, and then I'm going to train you. There's 3 concepts I want to share with you today, and a little assessment that I want to give you to see how and you're going to love this assessment. But what were your final thoughts before you head out here today, to those that are hoping to win a free ticket and maybe a little bit nervous about coming in? Maybe they have to fly great distances, etc. What would you say to that person?
I would say that I was nervous originally having people here too, but that we have loved it, and that I am so looking forward to meeting whoever comes. I know whoever it'll be fun. Yeah,
great. And all things happen. We believe, both Fiona and I believe in purpose in life, and that our paths will cross with your paths because of purpose. And so thank you.
You're welcome.
Fiona, I appreciate it. I'll let my wife leave. Fiona is very much behind the scenes. Well, she's not involved in the business, but she is behind the scenes. And for her to speak to you, I just wanted to thank her for that, and also to let you know too that I'm at the foremost. I mean, a successful business is one thing, but having a successful family and having a wife that I love and who loves me, and we're going on 21 years this summer, and 2 boys, and we're a very close-knit family. So bringing people here from all over the world gives us a chance to give back how we've been blessed. And I want to bless you with the kind of systems that have taken me multi-millions of dollars to create. You can't find this anywhere online. You will see that, and everybody that comes in is blown away very quickly by the level of not just knowledge, but specific skills and tools that you can use immediately in your business. So I really believe that we can transform our businesses within 24 hours. But I believe that it takes immersion, not sprinkling. You understand the baptismal argument between sprinkling and immersion. It's really full immersion. And so many people today want to be sprinkled. And sprinkling costs a lot of money. And because you end up throwing a lot of money at bad advice, or advice that's really not just helping you with execution. In today's marketplace, it's all about execution and doing what your competitors don't do, can't do, or would think of doing. So I'm going to cover 3 points with you. I'm also going to give you the 1-day page. I don't have any pictures to show you here today because I'm going to train you on these 3 concepts. I'm quite short on time today, and but you can go to newgurumodel.com/1day, ONEDAY. You can see that it is our 1-day intensive. You can get some pictures, you can get a feel. And those of you that have the app, VIP app, are already on the early notification list, and there are several thousand people that we have on our early notification list. But I like to reward action takers, people that really want speed to market implementation. And this is the BUD URL, budurl.com/IC app. And that's for our Inner Circle app. And that allows you to have access to our beach time hangouts. And here we are. There's what's going on at the Canadian Lake Home right now. It's right down at the beach. So we take our Google Hangouts, or actually no beach right here. On the other side, we do have some beach, but the waves are right in today because it is very, it's been quite stormy here over the last couple of days. This storm front that's just been massive and has drastically changed the temperatures in our area from mid-80s to mid-50s. So anyways, that's how you can find out. I'm going to give you how you can automatically enter to win a free ticket here just really shortly, but I do want to cover three key points that I would recommend for anybody that's coming into a one-day intensive, whether they're paying 25 grand to work with me directly, and some of you are, to come in for a one day where I can just work on your business, transform everything, build your branding, your USPs, your pitch, your consultative process, help you close some deals, and just really rock it fast. Those of you that are investing to come in the one-day business acceleration intensive, there are three things that I want you to be aware of. Those of you that are watching from afar right now, and maybe you don't have Inner Circle access with our VIP app, or you're new to our Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts, there's three concepts here that I want to teach you right now, okay? This is what I believe is fundamental to success in business. And if I can go back to just this thought around being in the armpit of education here just for a second. I used to be in education. I spent a lot of money to earn 4 degrees, hundreds of thousands of dollars that at the end of the day just put me in the armpit of education. I was a vice principal. And those of you that know the educational setting, you know that the worst position you could be in is being in the armpit. I mean, just the metaphor of being in the armpit doesn't sound too pleasurable, does it? And that's what I was in. I was steeped in being in the armpit of education, spent a lot of money to go there. And I realized I didn't want to do this for the rest of my life. And many of you know some of our backstory on getting recognized by Adobe and having the opportunity to just work with so many different companies and entrepreneurs and coaches, consultants, speakers, experts over the last 12 years. I've been fortunate enough to design some, what I would think is, and I see this in my clients definitely, they'll tell you, are some pretty amazing systems to help them execute today in ways that their competitors aren't. But I want to use this analogy of being in the armpit of education. I use this right now because we're vetting people directly for the one day. And I used this with somebody this morning. And I said to the person, I said, you know, I was in the armpit of education for 6 years. I was a vice principal. And I said, I spent a lot of money to get there. You don't expect that it's going to be that bad. And I see a lot of coaches, consultants, and trainers that come here to the Canadian Lake Home. You heard Fiona mention, well, my wife was no longer here, but she did mention that she hears, like I hear, just some incredible people that come here today have spent so much money, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars on their business, and most of it is in experimentation. They're really not focused on execution. At the end of the day, everything they're doing is really just focused on passive learning. So I use this metaphor about being in the armpit of education, and I see so many coaches, consultants, and trainers being in the armpit of business. And if you're sick and tired of being in the armpit of business, there are 3 recommendations that for you right now, besides applying to come to the one-day business acceleration intensive here at the Canadian Lake Home. And so I'm going to take you through that. But before I do, though, I want to share with you this picture. I thought this is really apropos today. You never know how close you are. Never give up on your dreams. And so many people today are, discouraged. I see this more than ever. 96% of coaches, consultants, trainers, experts will fail to make a profit online. And they're digging and digging and digging, and they're so close to the goal, but they turn around and give up. And this is not a perfect metaphor or analogy, but you don't want your competitors to beat you, right? I mean, that's why you're on these training events each week. And that's why many of you that are coming into our June Business Acceleration Intensive do not want to face this. And more than that, you don't just want this right here, right? You want to use a better tool than a pickaxe. And that's what you're coming here. We're going for the gold. And it's no longer the big that eats the small, but it's the fast that consumes the slow. So at 2 levels here, I want to encourage you not to give up, because I know that many of you are struggling at some level. You're not getting the kind of execution that you want. You're following so much misguided advice. And then many of you simply don't have the right tool. Okay, so I want to give you the tools and systems to help you in execution. So first thing I'm going to share with you right now to get ready for the one-day intensive, and everything I share is 100% proprietary. So these are systems that I don't share publicly, and they're shared at the Canadian Lake Home in a trusted, confidential manner with everybody coming in. But first concept that I want to leave with you then is one of the keys to accelerated success then is having a positive sense of self-expectancy. Even when the times are tough, especially for many of you that are using the wrong tools right now, I want to give you the right tools, the right systems that really leverage the new realities in today's marketplace of being more than an expert, but being an expert's expert. Now, I know that that could sound scary because many of you maybe are struggling with even being seen as an expert, even though you want to be, but there's some kind of subconscious story about why you don't deserve success going on, or whatever the story is that you've internalized. I want to share with you right now that it's so much easier to be positioned as the expert's expert than as an expert. And I'll prove it to you. Just go to Amazon, go to LinkedIn, and just see how many experts are in your industry and how are you going to stand apart from them. So what we're talking about then is getting to the goal that's in your own backyard, leveraging an entirely new system and new tools. Second concept, and I'm going to give you a little test on this, all right, around this concept here. So I'm going to share with you a pretty cool assessment tool. It's not based on my research. I'm not that smart. It's called the Flippin' Profile. But to set the stage for it, I want to share with you this right now, that you need to get close to the source of momentum. Okay, that's absolutely crucial. Most of you are reading books or buying low-end programs and services, and I know that you mean well, trust me, and I want to compliment you on doing that. But today's marketplace is about getting to the source of momentum. It's about speed. It's about having home court advantage in your own backyard. And it's about getting really serious about executing and not playing at execution. What do I mean by playing at execution? I mean by reading books, buying low-end programs, hiring out coaches and consultants that maybe are quite motivational, and some of them are really good, right? But at the end of the day, they don't have the skills of making it in business and also teaching you to be successful. So you need to be really careful. I need to be really careful. And that's why everybody that's coming in, they're not paying for my failures. They're investing their time and their money to invest in my successes. And it's I want your success. That's all I can say. We have a documentary being done, and we are featuring a lot of our clients in that right now. So let me take you through this this assessment tool. And I want to, it's called the Flippin', or well, before I take you to it, this was our beach time hangout from Friday evening. You see how calm it is there. And that's what our beach is normally like in the evenings here in the summer. However, we can have days where it's like this. All right. So if you want to be close to the source of momentum, that's one of the reasons why we have our VIP app. And secondly, I can talk to you about the Canadian Lake Home, and I can show you all kinds of cool pictures and the hundreds of entrepreneurs that have been here. And you can see that when you go to newgurumodel.com/one-day. Or I could show you what's actually going on right now. That's a whole new level. Or you can feel it for yourself by actually coming here and be blown away at the awe-inspiring venue, and most importantly, at what I'm going to be covering with you. So let's move forward here, and I want to take you through this profile now, because this is really powerful. All right, and that's our VIP app, and that's our last Inner Circle Beach Time Hangout. We give away some pretty cool advice, I think. And so based on the comments, hundreds of comments that are coming in, you do too. So let's discuss right now here the Flippin' Profile. I'm going to give you this because I want you to understand that the Flippin' Profile is to DISC and Myers-Briggs and others what a hacksaw is to a fine surgical iron laser. And I'm going to use that analogy because I see most coaching and consulting programs today really just a hacksaw on how to leverage the new realities of the advisory age in which we live. Whereas you need fine surgical eye laser, all right? And that's the importance of knowing how to assess your market, understanding that your ideal candidates expect to get your best and then they're gone in today's market. And so you can't play around on the lowest rungs of the price ladder. It will kill your business. And many of you are experiencing that right now, and you know full well what I'm talking about, unfortunately. So I want to help you overcome that pain, because it's not fun. But let's go back to the profile here. And the Flippin' Profile has 30 plus scales, allowing for a level of sophistication in measuring and tracking psychological attributes that no other instrument can come close to tracking. Okay, eight traits will determine your success as a coach, consultant, expert, or advisor. So I want you to rate yourself on these 8 traits right now, okay? So just get out a piece of paper. I'm gonna give you the 8 traits. Maybe rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 4. I'm not gonna go reason why you should use a 4 scale a rating system or a 4 rubric rating system more accurately. And, we cover that on our 1-day, et cetera, on how to assess your marketplace really strategically to self-select themselves into your highest end programs and services. But just evaluate yourself on a 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1 can be, you're not really that good at it. 4 is you're amazing. And then to the 2 variants between 1 and 4, which are a 2 and a 3, okay? So give yourself an evaluation. And I'm gonna go through those 8 traits right now. And this is really important because in today's market, especially, because you're listening as an expert or as a speaker or as a coach or as a consultant or as a trainer or as an author, and you're really in an intangible market. And you've got to learn how to make what you do a lot more concrete, because when you can do that, then you become a lot more powerful. And then you can start not just standing apart from all the noise in your industry, but the noise in the general marketplace. How to stand apart from what's going on with America's Got Talent, McDonald's, Home Depot, the biggest, music group that you like. You're competing against all that noise in today's market. And that's why it's so difficult to stand apart. And then throw in the thousands of competitors that you have, on Amazon, on LinkedIn. Just take a look at them, and thousands are coming into your marketplace every week. It's no wonder that you're not being noticed. And so you've got to be a lot more strategic. So these 8 profile traits are really crucial to understand and evaluate yourself to help you begin to understand how to set and stand apart, okay? So, and be internally close to the source of momentum. And then you need to be externally close to the source of momentum, which is why so many of you are wanting to come into the Canadian Lake Home Intensive. So first of all, evaluate yourself on the high achievement drive, the drive to achieve and accomplish great things. Where are you on that scale? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Okay, evaluate yourself right there, right now, so you've got it. Secondly, high dominance, the need to lead, influence the outcome, and make decisions. Where are you on that scale? A 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4? And again, this comes from the best research that I've ever seen into predicting, just from without any kind of program, but just at the outskirts of starting a business and understanding that you need a positive sense of self-expectancy. Where do you rank yourself on these 8 areas? Okay. So high dominance, you need to lead, influence the outcome, and make decisions. Third, high competitiveness. Where do you rank yourself on the drive to win and excel in competitive environments? And we are in a highly competitive marketplace today. Next, low self-critical. Okay, the tendency to resist beating yourself up, blaming yourself, or finding fault with yourself. Where do you rank yourself there? Okay, the tendency to resist beating yourself up, blaming yourself, or finding fault with others, or with yourself, I should say. Next, 5th success trait is the low willingness to defer. So where are you on a scale of 1 to 4? The tendency to resist the opinions and preferences of others in favor of your own. Next, high self-confidence, the tendency to think very highly of your own capabilities, decisions, and views. Where do you rank on a 1, 2, 3, or 4? All right, that's the 6th success trait that your success hinges on. Next, critical thinking, the tendency to critique performance and behavior. Where do you rank on a 1, 2, 3, or 4? All business comes down to performance, comes down to a few sets of core behaviors that you want to replicate, that you've got to learn. Nothing around critical thinking is around what you're reading and how you understand. Notice that. And then finally, on a scale of 1 to 4, playful, energetic, the drive to have lots of fun. Okay, where are you? I want to tally up your score, and that's going to start giving you a really good sense of where your baseline is when it comes to just the notion of success as an entrepreneur, or as an author, or as a coach, a consultant, a trainer, most importantly, as an entrepreneur or business owner, right? Because coaching is just one profit center. Training is just one profit center, but they can be the most valuable profit centers, and consulting or mentoring can be the most profitable profit centers for your company if you have a scalable model. So as you evaluate those 8 success traits, it's going to really, it's a true self-reflection of where you come, right? Just from a baseline into business. So remember then, positive sense of self-expectancy is our first principle for those of you that are coming in. And secondly, you definitely want to be close to the source of momentum. If you're not ready to be close to the source of momentum, please, don't apply for a ticket. Because the people that come here want to be close to the source of momentum. They want to experience of what it really means to be in the storm in today's market, and they want to be able to stand apart from all that noise. And third principle then for today's training, and to qualify to get a ticket here, and in just a moment I'll let you know how you can qualify. But you want to raise the level of your accountability. Raise the level of your accountability. If you're just accountable to a book or to an audio program or to a coach once a week or twice a month or whatever, the accountability is pretty low. But if you have a core group of entrepreneurs that are going in the same direction as you, if you have access to a place like the Canadian Lake Home, if you come in where you're really just ready to focus for an entire day and block out all the other distractions, just humbly look at your company. And as I humbly share with you what has, it's brought me a lot of success, but more importantly, it's brought my clients a ton of success. And even more importantly, my boys get a chance to meet you and learn from some incredible people. But when it comes to raising the level of your accountability, I want to challenge you with a threefold test on how accountable you are to success and to those 8 profiles. And I really believe that those 8 success traits in the flippant profile can really come down to your readiness to do 3 things. All right. You might have seen this before. If you haven't, I want you to write this down. The seam of success. The seam of success. I believe that success is like a seam on my shirt right here. Okay. There's a seam on my shirt. Most of the shirt is shirt. And there's a specific seam that runs, around the arm, runs over the shoulder. And those are called seams, right? And most of the shirt is a shirt. Just a part of the shirt is a seam. And in today's marketplace, it's not about having a hacksaw anymore, but it's about having fine laser surgery equipment, tools, processes, agreements, templates, blueprints that allow you to access that seam, create that seam in your market, but really find it in your market and then penetrate it and expose it and then build your positioning around it, because it is difficult today. So here's what I believe the 8 profile traits come down to. And I call it the seam of success, and that's what I share at the 1-day intensive, as you will see and witness. But you want to do what others don't do, can't do, or wouldn't think of doing. Don't do, can't do, or wouldn't think of doing. So when I share everything at our 1-day intensive, it's going to be focused on what others don't do, what they can't do, or what they wouldn't think of doing. Now, that's the joy that brings me joy, because I absolutely love doing these. And I'm a teacher by passion and training. I believe the skill sets of making it in business and teaching somebody to be successful are completely separate. And I've just been lucky and fortunate enough to develop some very cool systems that I believe hit the requirements of the seam of success, doing what others don't do, can't do, or wouldn't think of doing. So the day is going to bring you huge leverage. The day will probably not look like right here, which this is what's going on here right now at the Canadian Lake Home. And let's see if I can get it back here. For some reason, I can see it here on my the bottom of my Google Hangout, but you won't. But you've seen some pictures, and it hasn't changed here today, unfortunately. Tomorrow it's supposed to be nice. So, anyways, you can find out more details about the 1-day again by going to newgurumodel.com/1-day. All right. And if you would like to apply, there's 2 easy ways of applying. There's the super easy way, which will send me an email. I'll give you our office phone number too, just to make sure. I highly recommend it. You just leave a message, but definitely you want to send me an email. And then if you really want to leverage being involved here, you're going to want to do one other action step. So You can email me, Glenn at newgurumodel.com, Glenn at newgurumodel.com. All right, Glenn at newgurumodel.com. And you can phone our international office too if you'd like, 519-542-3043. So just put in there, just send me an email that you would like a chance to win a ticket to the Canadian Lake Home. And tell me something, a little bit about yourself, a little bit of background, etc. Just throw that in there so we know. If you would like even a better chance to come in, then you'll definitely also want to go to budurl.com, budurl.com/CLH invite, CLAH invite. All right, and you can get right into my schedule. There's my private calendar, and you fill out a quick application for it. And that way I know you're really serious about your success and you're not just coming in here and, trying out business. So there's two things you can do. Again, you do the easy way, fast way, Glenn at newgurumodel.com, drop me an email directly. Okay. And secondly, if you're really serious and you really want to be considered above other people, then you can go the application route. There's a short video for people that download the Future of Coaching that apply for an application with me to have a strategy session. You can go right to that page, and that gives you and I a chance just to connect for a few moments. You get into my calendar. It's my private calendar, budurl.com, that's com/CLH invite, Canadian Lake Home invite, CLHINVITE. Okay, so that's a short URL to get to my calendar. It would be too long, and that's our training today. So I want to encourage you to follow those 3 principles today, because those are the principles that I expect that everybody that's coming to the Canadian Lake Home to. So they want, and they have, positive sense of self-expectancy. They definitely want to be close to the source of momentum, and they want to raise their level of accountability to themselves, to their business, to their family, and they're going to focus on the seam of success. And I gave you a really cool profile of 8 success traits of the 30 that I think are the 8 core that really challenge your readiness in business. And if you're not at a full 4 at every level, very few people are. And there's nothing wrong with having 1s or 2s. But I just want you to understand that when you come here, we're going to accelerate, and it's a full day to work on your business. So get all the details. The day is June the 22nd. June the 22nd is our next one-day business acceleration intensive, and you get a chance to come as my guest there. So take action. 2 ways to apply. The easy way, just email me directly. The longer way is to fill out an application, get into my calendar as quickly as possible. You probably want to do both. Drop me an email that you applied in my calendar, and if it's a few days off, I might be able to work you in sooner. Okay, so please take the concepts that I covered. I'm really excited that Fiona could drop by here just for a few moments. First time she's ever been on a Google Hangout. I'm really glad I could share with what's going on at the beach at the Canadian Lake Home, and I am so excited about what we're going to be covering here in a few weeks. So there's lots to be sending. Those of you that are coming here, we're going to be sending you lots of details and materials to get here and to get ready for the day, and including private training, etc. So take what I covered, make it yours, and look forward to our next Google Hangout, a Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. Have a great one, everyone.